The shark bait has such teeth.
Oh, a new one.
Yeah, we opened up with this last time, a different one, and it went pretty well. Actually, it didn't. But, what the hell? In Massachusetts, no gorilla is allowed in the back seat of any car.
So here it comes. Who puts putting their gorilla in the back seat?
Right, and does that mean the gorilla is allowed in the front seat? I mean,
do like the Flintstones where Dino put his head through the roof?
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, if you're in Massachusetts, make sure your gorilla sits up front. Okay, shout-outs right away. Right away. First off, our latest living legend, Tom McKelmont, and his wife, Linda, sent us, I don't know if you can see it down there, sent us his bottle of whiskey, Chicken Cock. And it's not only funny, but it's really good whiskey. I looked up how much they spent on us. It's way more than we've spent probably on all this damn shit we have in front of us. So thank you, Tom and Linda, very much. You didn't have to do it, but I'm not sending it back for Christ's sakes.
You gonna share it?
Okay. I think it's actually for us.
Okay, nice.
So I'm willing to share. Maybe we'll have a shot
later
coming
on.
Up here. Because we have a special treat for you today. I'm gonna let that wait for a little bit. How about that? Not too long, but a little bit. And the other one is I spent some time this week with Mr. Harrelson.
Oh,
and for those of you that watch, you know who he is, and actually you're going to hear from him. You hear from him every other week, and you're going to hear from him tonight. Today at the end of the show too, which is a little different.
Okay,
but anyway. His partner, Sally, got me the shirt. Feel this thing. This is like the real thing.
It is the real thing.
And so thank you, Sally. And the other thing I have to say there is Sally's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And Mr. Harrelson's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, he's old.
Old and ugly. And I don't understand how he gets that stuff. So good for you, Mr. Harrelson. But thank you, Sally, for my shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. We're the, let's see, what are we?
There it goes.
Oh, yeah, we knew something was going to happen. Okay. We are alcohol influencers. Yes. That's what we are.
Right.
Besides being interrupted by shit, which happens every week. So I should be used to it.
Right.
But we're alcohol influencers. And so I wanted to read this fact to you and you. Large amounts of hops improve cognitive function.
Oh.
The downside is that one must drink 3,520 pints of beer in a day to get the effect. Now, I don't really see the downside.
You're getting close.
Yeah.
You're getting close.
I mean, okay, maybe I don't get quite that many, but still, I can try. Yeah. And maybe I can get a little fucking smarter, can't I? You know, that's the way I look at that.
Goals. You have goals.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome. I didn't welcome you. You know, last week I didn't even introduce us.
Oh, you didn't?
Hey, that's Tiny, and I'm the Prince of Pittsburgh. And we are Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk, and we are the only Category 5 podcast in the universe. Mm-hmm. And we are the most puzzling podcast in the Northern Hemisphere. And what we've come to learn, and you guys know too that watch a lot, is Southern Hemisphere sucks. Yeah. It just sucks.
Yeah, screw that.
So either that or maybe we should become part of that. We have to be the best podcast in the Southern Hemisphere.
Not as much competition.
No. Oh, no. We can beat out some Zulus, I think, you know. Anyway, this is our 121st podcast.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing is cutting it down. And number 21, your favorite athlete, number 21.
I know it's probably going to be yours too. But
we had to.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
It's Roberto.
I didn't even look up anybody else.
I didn't bother.
Roberto Clemente, not only was he a great athlete, he was actually a good person.
Right.
Way better person than me and you. I know that for damn sure.
Right. Exactly.
So I thought it would be sacrilegious in Pittsburgh not to take him.
I didn't even bother like you. I didn't bother looking
I didn't even
else,
look anybody else. And that's a nice way of saying we're fucking lazy. And we don't look shit up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, New Scientist magazine. I read it, so you don't have to read it. He doesn't have to read it. 3 headlines from New Scientist magazine. And I know you're going to like this first one.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus's newest moon could be the first of many more. So I don't know if Uranus reproduces? How do you get more moons? You understand that at all?
I don't know. Well, the same reason I don't understand why Pluto is a planet one day and the next.
No, I know. I'm still pissed about that.
I don't understand.
I'm really
it changes
pissed.
Every time.
Exactly. Okay. Number 2, artificial superfood for bees boosts their colony reproduction. And now this is finally good news for bees.
Something breaks their way.
Yeah. For those of you that watch, microplastics hurt their memory.
Yeah.
When they got drunk, their
they
legs got bitten off.
Yeah.
And there was something fucked up their flying too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
They had 3 things.
Yeah.
So anyway, now this new superfood helps bees to fuck. So that should be a good thing.
Good for them.
Okay, and the last thing, and this applies to me more than most, the brain doesn't actually reorganize itself after a limb amputation. Now, is a toe a limb?
No.
No. So, okay, so my brain, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't reorganize anyway.
You ever feel like a phantom toe down there? Like people talk about with limbs?
I've heard that, and then based on this headline, that's bullshit, though. Because it says,
I thought that was validating it.
I don't think, because it doesn't reorganize itself, I don't think.
Right, which means that your brain still thinks it's there. No.
Oh, okay, maybe. Right? I don't know. I got a C in science, so although I can't think you got much higher.
Hey, I just had a class reunion, 42 out of 84, right here.
Yeah, and your whole class didn't even agree with you with how many were in the class.
They don't know. They don't know shit.
Okay. All right. Turning the table, Prince Huckamuck fuck was in the news, and he met with his father for the first time in 18 months.
Isn't he dying?
He's dying, and the meeting took less than an hour. You haven't seen your father in over 18 months, and your reconciliation is less than an hour with the poor old man lying on his close to his deathbed. Yeah,
attaboy.
I know. So Huckamuck fuck. I'm sure his kids weren't there either. He's probably there for something else.
Right.
All right. We had a beer night yesterday. Any comments about beer night?
I won the touch contest.
Did you?
2100. Yeah, I got 2.
Wait a minute.
Melissa.
Does Reed count?
No, Reed doesn't. No, he's a dude.
Yeah, but he's a good-looking dude.
He is a good-looking dude, but no, it's only Melissa. I got 2.
Yeah, but okay. But you and Guru sat on the outside, and those of us that sat on the inside, we're at a huge disadvantage.
You got there first. You could have sat on the outside.
All right. So you won the touch contest. Okay, well, good for you. She did look very nice.
She did.
As always.
Right.
As always. Okay, we're recording on Friday, September 12th. And obviously yesterday was 9/11. And any quick memories you have of 9/11?
I worked for a bank in New Wilmington that day, and I got yelled at for watching TV in the basement when that all happened.
Did they realize what was going on?
No. My boss, she was kind of she's a nice lady, but she was mad that we were all watching TV. But it was kind of Misty was working downtown at the time, down by the bus station, and they were sending everybody home.
Oh, right.
Like she was like, I'm coming home. Like, wow, they're shutting the city down. So that's what I remember when you asked.
Okay. Well, I was working at community college in Monroeville, and actually the flight that wrecked in Somerset actually kind of flew over Monroeville when it did its turn. So when that happened, then they sent everybody to community college home. Mm-hmm. So everyone was out of there, and I went downstairs to work out. And security came and told me I had to leave. And I said, look, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, there's a bunch of bad shit. But I said, the safest place we could be is right where we are, because nobody gives a shit about community college, about the building itself, about the people that are in it. I said, this won't even make the news if they bomb us. I said, do you know we're safe?
Yeah.
But they still tossed me out. So that's my...
I think a Shanksville field is probably more important than CCC.
I would. Anything would be more important. Anything. And one thing, I just added this. You can see I have new ink. Driving through Mercer to get here, I saw there was a sign that said Boy Scout auction. Now, I didn't know they auction off Boy Scouts. There must be a truckload of troop leaders and priests at that damn thing. What do you think?
Line through the door.
Exactly. Okay, our website, unlike our podcast, our website is rated G, totally rated G. So we ask you to go there, take your kids, your neighbors, whoever you can, and along with writing Dear Tiny and lovely photos and all kind of other things. We have a new contest that Jane puts up every week. Not even a contest, a survey. And once again, you did not do this week's. And last week was favorite cereals.
I did that one.
No, you didn't.
I did that one.
When?
I don't know. I remember doing
I have the
it.
sheet.
I even had a comment.
I have the sheet. You're not on it. You're not on it. Anyway, I know you're not going to do this one. You know why?
Why?
If you go to it right now, it is food you don't want on your plate. And there's 9 on them. I can't think that there will be one that you don't want there, because I can only come up with 1 out of 9. 1 out of 9. But anyway, yeah, like I say, the website's G-rated, so feel free to go there. It's not like us talking. And pick out the food that you would not want on your plate. Or I don't know if you can only pick one or is more than one, but check it out. Check it out. www.pghdivebartalk.com. What's on today's show? I'm not sure. I can tell you what's coming up next, which is very special. We haven't had an interview for a while. We're having a live interview with Tiny's high school football coach, which I'm looking forward to. And I don't know how long that's going to take. So I don't know what other of our regular segments. I think for sure we'll have movie music. Hell's Half Acre, we got Selma Hayek versus King Tut's grandmother. So that should be a good contest. Right. And then actually, I think we're going to need Ed, the football coach, to hang out here because Samurai Chatter is most disliked football teams. We want to hear it. And you know what? A lot of podcasts, I know we're not as popular as the Kelseys and all that shit. But do they have bar graphs? I bet you not, right? We have bar graphs this week. Do you know that?
I did
if he puts it up.
I didn't look at them, but I saw we got them.
Actually, maybe I'll hold up the paper because I have one too, just in case he doesn't. But yeah, we got bar graphs. That's why you should hang in there with us. So we're going to talk about most disliked pro football teams and college football teams. And then we'll wrap it up with a quote from Stephen Wright, which is always funny. So stay tuned, hang in there, and you're gonna get to meet Tiny's high school football coach. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk, and this is always I'm a little nervous before we do an interview because you don't know what's going to happen. Like I know what's going to fucking happen when I do plan it, so it really shouldn't matter to me. But I'm going to try to be, and I don't think I've said this in a long time. I'm going to try to be the third wheel in this conversation, but I won't be able to shut up the whole time. But anyway, we thank Ed for coming on. I just met Ed probably 15 minutes ago. He was Tiny's high school football coach, and we're going to hear a little bit about that whole experience, and Tiny's going to start firing some questions.
Well, and one thing I'm going to correct right away, too, not only was I a outstanding football, but a track as well. He was track coach, too, so you got to correct that right off the bat. Track.
Quit blowing smoke up your ass, I'm
not. Should I keep tally mark to how many times you guys screw this up, or what should I do?
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. We wouldn't have enough ink.
So I won't get into a ton of background stuff, but I think so many people I talk to don't realize you're not a Middlesex lifer.
No, I'm not. I'm originally from Oil City.
Yeah.
I was born in Charlottesville, PA, but we moved to Oil City when I was a kid.
Did you know the Straubs?
I consider that my hometown. Pardon?
You know the Straubs?
I know some, yes.
Okay, Dave Straub was my.
I graduated with a Pete Straub.
Okay.
He asked me a few weeks ago about a Straub from up there, but But I'm originally from Oil City. Went to graduate from high school there in 1983. Went to Edinburgh. Made it out there by the skin of my teeth, and managed to fool the good people of West Middlesex. And I taught special ed there for 34 years before I retired, and still coaching. But
was Tiny in your special ed class?
He was. I think it's a HIPAA violation if I disclose that. I'm not sure, not all my classes. He was in. He was remedial as far as high school lineman. One of those deals.
So Middlesex was your first teaching job then?
Yes, right out of college. I got a call. It was my student teaching experience. I got a call from the superintendent at the time. It was Al Jones.
Yeah.
And I got a call, and he said, "We'd like you to come down for an interview." And my first comment was, "Where's West Middlesex?" I had never applied, and they found out about me. They found out about me at a high school principal or superintendent's conference. And they contacted my dad, who was at the time a business manager in Oil City. And it was just hired a superintendent. And they called him, and he said he's student teaching. And they called me, and I went in for an interview, and they offered me the job before I left that day.
Okay. So you start teaching there. When did you get track first as a coach? Or did you because I don't remember track before you.
I was 87, 88 was my first year teaching there.
Okay.
And my first year, I was a volunteer track coach for the boys and girls. I coached the javelin my first year.
Who was
my
the head coach?
Second year, John Suvoy.
Oh,
John
okay.
Suvoy was in there. Tim Glunt was his assistant, and Bob
the
Morris.
shop teacher?
Bob Morris was the girls coach at the time.
Was Glunt the shop teacher guy?
Yes, he was a shop teacher at the time. Yeah.
And your cheap ass school couldn't pay you something? You had to fucking volunteer?
So no, well, I got a free meal every once in a while or something. But,
oh, good.
But it was one of those deals. And then my second year was a girls throwing coach for a year, and then my third year, John got out, then I applied for the job, and I got the head boys coach, and I've been that since 89, 90 was my first year. I've been doing it ever since.
So you've been doing track longer than football.
Yeah, football.
Did he get you into football too?
Pardon?
Did he get you into football too?
No, I actually got into football when would have been my third or fourth year. Tom Trimmer got rehired. He was a coach there back in the 70s, and he got rehired, and he brought me on board, and I coached football for probably close to 30 years too. Also.
Okay.
But,
okay. So this is a good segue then. We can get into other stuff because I'd be curious some of the coaching things because you were there for some different stuff. Of all your coaching regrets, where does this fit in your regrets with me? Underutilizing my speed on the track or not maximizing my skill set on the football field?
I think it's probably a toss-up. I'm not sure. At the time you were only tipping the scales at about 310, 315 or so. So we probably could have used you in the 100,
right?
Maybe in the 200 and a 4x1. But I think also, I know that terrific arm that you had. We probably should have benched Rocky Doolin as quarterback and probably slid you in there and used you at quarterback.
I definitely had more up here, I'll tell you that.
Well, hey, I've always said if you have a great arm, you don't have to have much of a brain. Not that was true in Rocky's case. I love Rocky. I loved him. He was a great kid. He was like having a coach on the field. He really was.
Yeah. I think it was on the football field because, again, he refutes this, but I do have a documented 4.89 40 time.
I was going to ask that.
Was that it had to have been downhill somewhere? Like off a cliff, maybe?
Thank you.
Because I'm
ask Coach Stone up at he's probably dead now, Greenville. Wasn't that Stone? Wasn't his name?
It's his. I think his grandson or great grandson might be playing, but their grandsons are playing. Just came through. But yeah, I remember Bob. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was under his watch, so it has to be true.
Did he have a watch?
Yeah.
Or was he just guessing?
It was a sundial.
He was probably looking at the clock and did it this way. The 4.89. Those were minutes, Greg. That was on a sundial. It wasn't I don't think it was an actual stop.
And you don't know how I thank you for being here because he's been talking about this shit for 10 years. 10 fucking years.
It's documented. It is documented, I can assure you.
But we don't know where.
I'm just saying.
Then some guy that's dead.
if it happened up at Greenville, it's probably on a wall in a bathroom upstairs at some bar or something. 4.89 Greg Parcel. I don't know.
I thought that was his number for an easy good time,
So you did. So okay, between the two, then you did because I even though I was always kind of in the area, I never really paid attention. You coached some state winners, right?
Yeah,
and especially not even just events, but teams.
Yeah, we had 2000. Well, I was on the coaching staff when we went to the state finals in football in 2006. Coached in a lot of District 10 championships. I've had 2 District 10 championships in track, a couple runner-ups, but then our 2013 team with there's great bunch of kids.
Yeah.
We won a state championship there.
Yeah.
People don't understand how hard that is in class to be a small Class A school because track is it's treated like the armpit of sports by the PIAA. It's just there's 2 categories. There's AA and AAA, and all the small schools compete up, the big schools compete down, and it's awful difficult. For a small school like that to win a state championship is really something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mr. 4.89, never won a state championship when he was there.
Qualified. You went states and shot there, didn't you?
Did,
qualified for
Except,
states and shot.
he qualified, but You came up with some fucking injury or something.
I dislocated my finger.
No, I think I don't know about. I know they were calling his name if he was up, but I think he was in line at the concession stand. I'm not sure. And we hurried him down, but he made it in time to throw. I don't remember what he threw. I'd have to look it up. I have all those records.
People still talk to me about when we used to pack a cooler for invitationals and stuff. That we would pack a cooler like we
were the reason. We, as in the team, we were the reason they put those things on the bus. No charcoal or no gas grills, no coolers, no this, no that. Oh yeah, these guys. We used to go all out.
We would.
I got in more trouble. I was head coach, but I used to get yelled at by the assistants all the time for letting you guys do that stuff.
We would pack for like a day long invitational. We would seriously pack like 3 coolers worth of food for like 8 people. It wasn't even like it was like a whole team. It was like 8 of us.
It was like a buffet, and then the other teams picked up on it, and it started being like a small community behind the bus. We'd get a grill going, and it was a good time. Good time. Yeah, times have changed, but
is there anything? Because it's funny, we just had our 30-year class reunion 2 weekends ago. And so we did.
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Actually,
why didn't you invite? I was going to ask that.
That would have been nice.
That's shitty. No, and you live right around here.
I don't feel bad because they didn't invite me to my own high school class reunions. I don't feel bad.
You should have. Yeah, I never thought about it, but yeah, you could have, because it was our first attempt, and as I understand, there was only one other attempt at it. So yeah, no one would have cared. It was at Chris Papst's house. You know where his dad lives? It was right up there. You could have crashed it.
Yeah.
But, we didn't talk a ton about old stuff. But, of course, when like Paletta comes in and all those guys, we talked a little bit. And other than being the streak breaker, we really don't have any memorable anything from that football season. That's really the only thing most of us remember.
It's not – it wasn't that you guys lit the world on fire. It's just that you were solid. We had – up to that point, that was my first year as a head football coach. And up to that point, since 1925, that was 94. Since 1925, West Middlesex had 4 winning seasons. 4 winning seasons. I think one of them was a tie at 3-3 or something. All right, we had 4 winning seasons. So we started the year off with a couple losses, and our non-league schedule was tough back then.
Our 4 losses my senior year were all to Final Four state qualifiers.
Yeah. That's why I said that was something. And then we routed off 5 wins, and then we just missed the playoffs that year. But you guys were. Coach always remembers. I've always said that you always remember your special teams, but you never forget your first one. That was really my first. I was head track coach. But football, I love doing track. Honestly, I love it. I get the girls program now too. So, we have a lot of kids involved. The numbers are up and stuff, but you never forget. And football has always been special to me. And that group of guys that came through was great. It was really a great time.
So before you were head coach, Dave Nurtai was there for 2 years after Reese Jones, right? Were you on Nurtai's staff? I don't remember.
Well, I was a junior high coach, and I used to come over from junior high coach to take varsity practice over when he had a flat on 63 days a week. He was the only guy from Newcastle I knew that either had a flat on 63 days a week or just didn't show up.
We had more practices my junior year with one coach than any and look, by the end of the season, we started the season with 25. By the end of the season, we were down to 12.
And that was the year you didn't win any, right?
That year, my junior year of high school. Now this was the mid part of our 27 game losing streak, which was the county record. I don't know if it still is.
Probably.
I think it is. Yeah.
We lost 27 in a row, going to RJ's senior year to my senior year. We lost 27 in a row. Yeah. My junior year, we finished with 12 at the end of the season. But my junior year, we played in 5 homecoming games. My junior year.
Everybody wanted to schedule West Middlesex for homecoming.
Yeah.
You knew you were a fish back then when they scheduled you for a homecoming game. Even we tried to get Conneaut Valley on the schedule for homecoming a couple of times,
and it was so bad. We were so desperate for a win. We actually added a game at the end of the season to play an Ohio team, Southington. We added that game late.
I have a Southington story if you like. If it's okay. Do you mind if I tell a Southington story?
This is perfect segue.
I know we talk about how good athletes are, and we were big across the front. We had a nice line. They moved people. We scheduled a game in Southington, Ohio. Mike Tyson's we lived right across the road there for a while, built a big mansion over there and stuff. But we scheduled a game there toward the end of the season. And the Southington at the time, they were in the same boat we were the year before, where they hadn't won a game in like 13 years or something. I don't know what it was, but it was a while. we scheduled a game over there, and they had 24, 25 kids on the roster. Well, one of their starting linemen was a girl. And I have nothing against. I raised 3 beautiful daughters. I have nothing against girls sports, right? But back then, you didn't get a whole lot of girls playing football,
right?
And so she was a bigger girl. She happened to be on the line. And now this is where the story conflicts between Greg's side of the story and my side of the story. I give you my side of the story first. So I figured, okay, we're going to show her where she's at right off the bat here. We're going to show Southington. We're going double tight wishbone. We're running right up the gut. We're going right at him. And so the very first play of the game, I mean, and Greg saw this the following morning because we would go in for practice on Saturdays, and I would do films, and we ran it back like 50 different times to try to figure out what happened. But Greg comes off the ball. His story is he slipped. My story is he just stunk that game. And she come off the ball and she pancaked him right there. She pancaked him, put him right on his back. No, and then to add insult to injury, she jumped on him, which made it even better. So, and then Greg's floundering, she's floundering. I'm thinking there's going to be a flag here because this is probably inappropriate conduct or something going on the field. But so Greg's side of the story is pretty much close to that, but it had rained for 3 or 4 days, and their field was in pretty bad shape. We were on the only dry spot on the field when that happened, so I want you to know. I go online with that. It's the only dry spot on the field. Yeah.
Tiny, would you like to refute? That sounds like pretty
that's not
realistic.
How it happened at all. That's not how it happened.
You know what? I'll try to, and I'll see if you guys ever invite me back. I will try to find the footage because I saved all those tapes.
You have tapes?
So I will try to find tapes. No, they were saved. They're in storage somewhere down at the high school. Could have been thrown away 20 years ago. I don't know, but I will try to find the tape. And I'm not sure if they still have VCRs anywhere, but we'll try to get the footage of Greg getting pancakes. Yes.
I don't know if I want to bring it out for that. But
you better say yours doesn't work anymore.
I'll look for we'll find the footage.
Yeah. Okay. The only other question I had, it was because of that group text that I was telling you about off air. Mm-hmm. The one thing that came up, and a lot of it's because Pappas and Paletta, they all played in the secondary. And they never understood how Frank Cuncio came into the mix because he really just didn't fit into everything else.
Well, we didn't. Hold
on, just so the people know, he was a head coach at another school here, and then he came over to be our offensive coordinator. But it was like a weird fit.
That was a last minute, almost desperation thing. We were right before the season and still couldn't get the coaches. We still couldn't get a coach. I had. Because everybody that was on the inside had got away from the program, and a lot of the older guys came. Some of the older guys came back and coached with us and stuff. But it was really a desperation move. We just couldn't find anybody.
Nurtai alienated a lot of Middlesex.
Oh
people.
There were a lot when he left town. I don't think there was any crying, but
nobody noticed. He was never there.
Yeah. When he did show up, they'd think, "Who's that guy?" They thought maybe he was a maintenance guy painting the field or doing something or whatever.
But
so he came on board. We were right down to the last minute, and it was one of those. Hey, so and so was coached at. Frank was at Kennedy, I think, wasn't he? And he was let go there, and that was when John Turco came over, who I ended up being great friends with and coached with for 3 years later on.
Yeah.
But so we were right at the beginning of the season, didn't have another coach, and it was almost like a desperation move.
Okay. Yeah. No, that came as soon as I told everybody you were coming. His name came up like 3 times. Like, wow, I didn't realize that was that big a deal. But
I apologize, guys. I mean, I can't take the path back, but I mean, it's one of those things that I was first year head coach and couldn't find people. So
that explains it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
All right, I got a couple. Or you
go? That's good.
Okay.
That's pretty much
okay. I don't know if you were a yeller or not because I coached for many, many years too, and I was a yeller. But were you a yeller?
Oh yeah, I was a screamer.
Did you ever have to yell at this guy?
Come on. Come on. I was the head coach, but I coached the offensive and defensive line myself. And then another kid with me, Todd Castellander, Coach Castellander, was helping me out too. Awesome. Yeah, it was. I was a screamer every day, especially these guys. It was like every time you turn your back, they try to take a play off.
I actually do have another question too.
Go ahead.
So there's an infamous story, and most of the people on that text, most of them were involved, where we went out one night toilet papering, And
that was my second story I was going to bring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You had a curfew. Let me add to that. You guys had a curfew.
We did. Yeah. It was a night. It wasn't the night before the game. It was the night before pregame.
Correct.
It was a Thursday night.
Yes. Yeah.
We went out toilet paper, and the person's house we got ended up following us.
A school board member's house.
School board member's house.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Because I got the call at 2:00 in the morning.
That's okay. Is that how that went down?
Do you know where your football players are right now? I said they should be home in bed because my assistant coaches and I called at, I think it was 9:00. We had a curfew at 9:00.
9:30.
So they were all in. The parents answered the phone. I said, I got to talk to the kid. They came on the phone. You didn't have cell phones then. You know, we're picking up off the wall. And they all answered the phone. Well, then these jackasses go out and they take off and they go to not only do they toilet paper, it's a school board member's house.
Yeah.
Okay, you actually told that story on
Did I?
Yeah, on the podcast, but you didn't say it was a school board member.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that?
It was a school board
school board president. It had to do with his daughter, who one of the guys was dating one of her friends, and the issue was they thought the daughter was giving bad advice to the girlfriend. And so that was why it all came to be. But
there was a lot of stuff that they didn't take into consideration there. Not only did they toilet paper the trees, they were throwing over the house into the pool.
Into the pool.
So the soggy rolls of toilet paper were going into the filter.
That was the bad thing.
Yeah. So I got an earful that night.
He followed us for about 5 miles. We did like a 5-mile block. And to this day, I was driving Chris Pappas's car. To this day, I remember. I text him every once in a while. AHN 5513. That's his license plate number from that car from 1994. Wow. I remember the license
Ed,
plate.
what were the consequences?
Well, here's what happened. So the next day, I come to school. I'm stewing on. I can't sleep now. I had like 3 pots of coffee between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. I get up, I get a shower, I go to school, and I never say a word. I come into school with a huge smile on my face, never said a word. Kids are like, does he know? Does he know? Does he know? I'm going, hey, Greg, how's it going? Rocky, nice to see you. Hey, Rudy, how's it going today? I'm nice as pie. So we get out there, we get out to practice, and the kids go out and they start they line up in their lines and they do their line drills. We do our flexibilities, calisthenics, and things. And then I say, okay, everybody on the line. And everybody, we get down on the line and on the goal line. And I said, anybody have anything to say? The whole team said nothing. I said, okay, you got a dirty dozen. Now, a dirty dozen was 12 40-yard dashes, 12 push-ups, 12 sit-ups. Those aren't killers, but later in the story they become a factor. 12 grass drills and then 12 hills. And we had a hill down there. So after we did the first 30 dozen, now this takes 15 minutes of my practice time up, so I'm fuming about that.
Right.
So I said, everybody back on the line. I said, anybody have anything to say? Nobody says a word. I said, okay, another dirty dozen. I don't know how many dirty dozens we went through.
We did 4.
I think it was, we were on the third one and somebody started to crack and everybody looked at him like, we'll kill you if you say something. So we ended up doing 4 sets of dirty dozens. And I said, listen, we're going to stand here. We're going to do these until somebody tells me what happens or somebody quits. And I don't remember if it was Greg. This is one thing I can't remember to this day. And these guys could help me. The guys are on that team. Somebody said, I can't remember. I want to say it was one of the Shirleys.
It was Jason.
Jason Shirley said, I said, we're going to stand here. We're going to do these dirty dozens until somebody quits. We're going to keep doing these. And he raised his hand and said, Coach, I'll just quit. So I said, does anybody? And then finally, Rocky Doolin, our quarterback, senior leader, he says, we were out last night. I said, I know you were out last night. I got a phone call at 2:00 in the morning. I mean, it was an intense
The
practice.
funny thing was, it wasn't that he quit. Jason raised his hand and he says, Coach, I was over at my girlfriend's house last night.
Yeah, that's yes. Yeah.
They were like,
He said,
that's not
I'm not worried about that. I left after curfew, went to my girlfriend's house. I said, that's not what I'm talking about. Get back in line and shut up. It was so. And finally, Rocky Doolin cracked and told the story. And I said, now I know all that. And you guys know I know all that. That's why we're doing these. I said, what the hell were you thinking? Yep.
That was brutal.
It was. I was working up a sweat blowing a whistle. That's how bad that was that day.
That was tough.
Well, I was going to ask some more, but that's a pretty good one to end on.
Probably.
Right but I'm going to say Ed's going to stay with us for the rest of the time and participate with our other bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have him back because there has to be more stories than that. But so we can move on. We're going to stop this part, but Ed's going to stay there. If any of you have questions, of course you ask. Yeah. For the next time. And we'll be back, I think, I'm not positive, I think with a movie game.
All right.
Okay, we're back. Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk with the movie game. If you just joined us, who's this motherfucker? That's Ed. That's Ed. That's who that is. And if you don't know who he is, go back. We had some entertaining stories that he told about. Actually, he's way more entertaining than us two. Ed, don't get any ideas.
They're all true. They're all true. I didn't have to make anything up.
And actually, maybe you should get your own podcast so we can fucking quit. Probably be the best.
Can you sell me the equipment cheap? Can I get this stuff cheap?
You can probably have the shit, you know. Okay, we are at the movie game, and first off, we'll put up the scores from the final scores.
Oh, that's
the final
right.
scores, yeah, that I'm not going to even put up in front of me. Okay. But give me one pretty easy.
Yeah, this one.
Well, maybe I will grab it. Fuck. Give me one. Paul G came in second. Big Dog third. Yimmy won that pretty convincingly. And then as you look down, Tiny, you didn't do too bad. You had that three-way tie, and you beat those two. And then poor Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt down at the bottom of both of these. And I've already made the comment. I'm not going to cheat, but I'm going to try to skew things some way to get Teddy Roosevelt. Because now, okay, that was a sprint. That was like 23 games.
Yeah, it was a bunch.
Now it's going to be 5 games. 5 games. So we're all starting from zero. And as you know, the movie game, or you don't know because Ed has no fucking clue. You get 2 lines, 2 characters, and 2 actors. But most of you are going to get this from the first line.
Oh, boy.
From the first line. But maybe not him because we've seen him fail before in front of our eyes. So, and even if you're not involved in the thing, you remember, get out your home version. You can play at home. Okay, first 2 lines, and I'll go through the whole thing. We'll get Tiny's guesses, and then we'll get Ed's guesses. And the first line, which I think everyone should get just from this, it's an iconic line. There's no crying in baseball. You know what it is already?
Yeah.
And Ed, you even know it?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, but let me keep going through for those of you that don't know. The next line is, hey, great game, Jimmy. I especially like the move in the 7th inning when you scratch your balls for an hour. He said, well, anything worth doing is worth doing right. Jimmy Dugan and Dottie Hinson are the 2 characters. Tom Hanks and Gina Davis are the actors. And I think mostly everybody should know this one. Tiny, what is it?
Yeah, this is Gina Davis at like the height of her powers, too. This is
a
league of their own.
Okay, and Ed, you knew that too? Yeah. All right, Tiny. Tiny gets 5 points.
Yeah.
What year do you think this was released?
1994.
Ed, you have a guess?
91.
Okay, Ed would get a point. You don't. It's 92.
92. Son of a bitch.
So Tiny gets 5. Maybe I doubt this will happen. Maybe we can get Ed involved in this.
Get another one. Yeah.
Since we're starting from scratch.
Yeah,
Ed, you've never watched this fucking podcast, have you?
No.
You son of a bitch. I know.
First time ever. I had to go online just to see if it was real. I thought I was getting lured out here to my death. Greg said, you want to come to my garage?
Sometimes I wonder the same fucking thing. All right, 2 things about this movie, and I haven't read this for a while. So coaches attempted to use a slip and slide to teach the actresses how to slide into a base. After the first 3 actresses got concussions, they decided to do something else, and it didn't say what. Now, I don't know how the hell that happened. I guess their heads snapped back on a slip and slide. I don't know. But I will say one thing, as I was reading about the movie, almost all the actresses did all their own stuff.
Oh, really?
Like they had to audition and actually be able to play baseball. The only one that didn't have to at the beginning was Gina, and actually she picked up on it. You know, Gina was almost an Olympic
archery. Right?
Archery, athletic as hell. So she ended up being better than all of them.
I believe it.
They wanted her so bad they didn't put her in. But okay, they didn't make her go through the baseball thing.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, though. Tom Hanks gained 30 pounds in preparation for shooting. Not necessarily that they want him to. He blamed a local Dairy Queen, wherever the fuck they were. Now,
he'd lose weight locally. Now they closed.
Yeah, right.
Director Penny Marshall told him to keep eating because he wanted to. He was an over-the-hill athlete.
Yeah, right.
But she did tell Rosie O'Donnell to stop eating. So there you got it. A League of Their Own, 1992. Ed should join us now because he would have a tie for the lead no matter what anyone else does.
Yeah.
We'll be back with the music game. Okay, that must mean the beginning of another segment, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is the music game. And in the music game, I give you lyrics, and I'm going to sing them again. By the way, you make fun of my singing. Mm-hmm. One of our contestants told me my singing last week is the reason he got the answer. Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
No.
Okay, all right. So I give you lyrics. You give me the name of the song. That's 3 points. The artist or the group, that's 2 points. The year it was released, that's 1 point. Like we said in the movie game, we're all starting from zero, so everybody has a chance. And this is a sprint. It's not a marathon anymore. The next 5 shows we'll have a winner. So we'll see if someone can knock Yimmy off.
Yeah.
Because here you see the scores. Now this was close. Yimmy, 88. 3-pack, 87. Paul G, 86. Flies Bro, 84.
Wow.
That was close. Now, if you keep looking down your sheet, you'll see Tiny. He beat one person. Poor Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah. Thank God we got Teddy in this contest. You'd have been dead.
The music was skewed against me. It was a setup.
Well, it's going to be set up again.
I'm horrible at music. He could probably beat me.
He probably won't, and I don't think Teddy Roosevelt will either. But we'll see. It's a new life. You know, we're starting again. So that's what happens. You know, riding high in April, shot down in May, and now hopefully back up in June or September or wherever the fuck we are.
Right.
Okay, here are the lyrics. I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. You see, I thought I might keep you for my own. Da-da, what you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I know it.
Okay. Okay. Well, everyone else either has it or don't.
Okay.
Okay. What do you got?
It's Amy.
Okay. By who?
Pure Prairie League.
Okay. Damn. Okay. That's 5. Would you have got that, Ed?
Nope.
No. Okay. You do suck. Okay.
Told you.
You're honest. You're an honest guy. Okay. What
You're
year?
a music guru. I have my wife on the program.
What year?
She's good.
This was still the Vince Gill era, right? He was the one singing that, wasn't he?
Was he in Pure Prairie League?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll say 77.
Would you like to? No, you don't even know
I
the
have no
fucking
idea.
song. Okay. All right. But you would have said 72.
Exactly. I was going to go 1972.
I figured. Okay.
Damn it.
It was 1972. So Tiny gets a 5. We'll give Ed a 1. What the hell, you know?
I'll take a half a point. That's all right.
You get 1 for that. Amy, Pure Prairie League, 1972. We'll tell you next week the updated scores because we're starting from scratch, and we'll be back with. I think we're going to do a one Dear Tiny, Dear Tiny, just one.
Dear Abby, my feet are too long, my hair's falling out, and my right.
Okay, we're back. Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk. Dear Tiny, we only have time for 1 letter this time. This is from Bethel Park, Bernie. Bethel Park, Bernie.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's see. Dear Tiny, we have between us, we have 57 years of marriage with no divorce. Ed, how many long you been married?
38 years.
With no divorce?
No divorce.
So 57 and 38,
that's a lot.
67, 67, I think it's 95.
Wow.
95. Okay.
I've been happily married for 38. My wife was happy about the first 5. But we're still together.
Boom.
Wow.
Okay, here's what Bethel Park Bernie said. Dear Tiny, our mailman, Mr. Roper, told me that he has slept with every woman on the block except one.
Uh-oh.
When I told my wife this piece of news, she said, it's probably that stuck-up bitch across the street. Should I be worried, Tiny?
All right, listen, I always ask Misty to prove. She keeps saying Tori's mine. I keep saying prove it. And I stick to it. She has yet to prove anything to me, so she could be the milkman's
You
kid.
do a lot with DNA testing. It's expensive. But
Well, listen.
of course, for all the money you've invested here, I don't know if you'd be able to afford it.
This is Ed's first time in the cathedral. He's impressed by our
The view is fantastic. I got to tell you, you have to see it to appreciate it.
We'll never turn that camera around. I guarantee you.
No.
Okay, we have time. We'll be back. I have a quick thing to bitch about, so we'll be back with Argy Bargy.
Hey, give us some of that Argy Bargy. Giving it all to Jack. Give it some of that Argy.
Once again, this is Argy Bargy, and I'm here to bitch about something. I apologize. I'm a Pirate fan, and I don't know fucking why. But this is a two-part Argy Bargy, and I didn't even want to fucking do it. About one fucking game this week. One fucking game. And I'm so pissed off about it.
Yeah.
First of all, Paul Skeens, the best pitcher on the planet. He goes through 5 scoreless innings, killing the other team. He's thrown 64 pitches, and they take him out. For what? For what? What the fuck? He can't throw more than 64 fucking pitches. The guy's big, strong.
Yeah.
But then there's something that pissed me off even more when I read the paper the next day. The last 5 guys, for those of you that aren't baseball fans, this sucks. For those of you that are baseball fans, you'll know. Here's the last 5 guys in the lineup, okay? Cruz, he's batting 200.
Oh.
York, he's batting 176. Devaney, he's hitting 115.
Oh.
Bay, he's hitting 067.
Jesus Christ, I could hit it.
Davis is hitting 161. That's the last 5 guys in the lineup. Last 5 guys. But somehow they got a run. I don't know how they fucking got a run, but they take Skeens out, and of course they fucking lose. That's my Argy Bargy.
How
4
is
walks,
Bay?
probably.
Go
You
ahead.
have to wear on 4 walk, maybe. Score because they sure as hell can't hit.
How many chances is Bay going to get? Like
Way too fucking many.
Him
Way
and
too
Sawinski.
many.
Like, how many we got to give that dude?
Yeah. I mean, it's just fucking horrible, and it makes me sick, and I wonder why I fucking do it, but I'm still doing it.
Hey, give the stat from last night about the 24. Give us the stat.
Oh, okay.
This blew my mind.
Yeah. Paul Skeens, if you think there's other streaks that won't be broken, like Joe DiMaggio's, no one's going to fucking break this streak. Paul Skeens this year has pitched 24 games in which he's given up less than 2 runs. 2 runs or less.
Yeah.
2 runs or less. 2 runs or less. And in those 24 games, he either had a no decision or a loss. No decision or a loss, giving up 2 runs and with a minimum of 5 innings every time. 24 times that happened. But I didn't know why until I saw these fucking averages, because I'm fucking pissed that I've ever spent fucking money.
Yeah.
And that's my Argy Bargy. Let's move on.
Better stop and turn around, 'cause hell's half acre's gonna burn down.
Welcome back. Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk. This is Hell's Half Acre. Hell's Half Acre in real life is a Civil War battlefield, but on the Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk, it's a choice, a tough choice.
Yeah.
And this week we got a humdinger, We got Selma Hayek versus King Tut's Nana. And okay, now you're seeing them both, and you think, well, this will be pretty easy, right? Not so fast. And Ed and Tiny do not know what's coming up here.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two. I don't know what you call that. I'm getting too fucking old for this. You know?
Or drunk.
I don't have words. One or the other. One or the other.
Dementia's a bitch.
Anyway, if you want to sleep with Selma Hayek, you have to live 2 months on the Gaza Strip.
Okay.
But now there's an additional bonus because King Tut's Nana is really not that hot. If you want to sleep with King Tut's Nana, I'm giving you $1,000.
Oh, incentive.
So where the choice is 2 months. I mean, if you want to sleep with Selma, you got to live in the Gaza Strip for 2 months. And if you sleep with Nana, King Tut's Nana, you get $1,000. Now, let me give you just randomly 11 of our viewers gave answers here.
Okay.
I'll ride Nana into the night. Another guy said, give me $1,000 and I'll grab Nana by the ears and have at it. Okay. Then we got Gaza, Selma. Gaza all day. Nana would have to be $100,000. This guy just simply said Gaza.
Yeah.
This guy said, Nana, I can survive that. Okay, this guy liked both options, but he's going to go with Selma.
Okay.
All right. This guy said, I'll take my chances in Gaza. There's not many limits for me with Selma. So he really likes Selma. This guy said, give me Selma or give me death. This guy said, roll Nana over, take the $1,000 and never tell a soul. And this guy said, either is no more than 5 minutes, so I'll take the money. Okay, so
Ooh, man.
it's 6-5, Selma versus King Tut's Nana.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to ask both you, and then I guess I'll give mine. I really haven't thought about it. I'm more into this these answers.
Yeah.
I haven't thought much about it. Who do you think you'd take?
I'm for man. You would think for being King Tut's Nana, she'd have more than $1,000. I mean, give me like a gold bar or something, you know?
You know, she's really not King Tut's Nana.
I know, but
I came up with that.
I understand.
Maybe free pirate tickets with it or something.
I don't know.
I'm not sure I'd do Selma if they gave me tickets. If I had to fucking go. In fact, didn't we have a Hell's Half Acre where I made you go to like 30 pirate games?
Where you had to watch that many where Skis didn't pitch.
That's
even.
right.
We ruled him out even.
That's right. Okay, what you got?
Boy, especially after that picture I found of Selma, that's a hard one to pass up. I'll take my chances in the strip for, what is it, a week?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Man, they've never gone that long without bombing something.
No, I guess there's different parts of the gun.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Selma.
You're sticking with Selma?
She's hot. She's on my list.
Okay, Ed, what you got?
I told you guys this just a few minutes ago. I'm working on paying for my third wedding, so I'll take Nana and $1,000. You know, at least with Nana, I could talk my way out of it. I say, honey, she's in a sarcophagus. It's just a mummy. You know, it doesn't mean anything. There's no emotional attachment.
And I don't want to go to the Gaza. I just don't feel comfortable there. So, and Nana, let's do it. Let's have the time of our fucking lives. Not only am I gonna do you, Nana, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'll do it for $500. How about that? So, final score 7-7. We have a tie.
Wow.
And we don't break it in Hell's Half Acre. We just move right on.
That's it.
So, in the next segment, next and last segment, we're going to hear something from the coach, and then we're going to talk about the most hated football teams in Samurai Chatter. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Dive Bar Talk, and what we're doing now is Tom and Linda McElmont gave us this, sent us this great bottle of Chicken Cock Whiskey, and the three of us are going to do a shot. Tom McElmont, thank you very much.
Yes,
Here goes.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Smooth.
Yeah,
Pretty smooth.
Very smooth.
I wouldn't want
Makes
to
my
do
throat feel better.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, you look a lot better.
Yeah,
That's just me getting drunk, I guess.
Are you okay, Greg?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you okay?
Okay.
Yeah, my throat feels a lot better.
All right. Before we get to the disliked pro and college football teams, we have a football coach right here with us who you've already heard some good stories from. And we're going to give him
The floor.
the lectern.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's
How
a
about
good
that?
word.
I don't usually think them up. How about that shit? He's going to tell us a little bit about his philosophy.
I consider myself lucky. I taught and coached in a great school district, but I go back. It takes me clear back to junior high and high school. I was extremely lucky, whether it was youth baseball or football, peewees, midgets, the whole way through, the whole way through. I never, in my eyes, had a bad coach. I always had great coaches. More importantly, they were good human beings. And that was always solid for me. And I said, when I got into coaching, I said that's. I think I took a little bit of each one of their strengths and tried to mold them into my own kind of coaching philosophy or my own coaching stints. It's one of those things where when I was growing up, my mom and dad did without a lot of things so my two brothers and my sister and I could have what we had. You know, we didn't have money, but we always had our stuff. You know, I remember my dad, I told a story before I was a 10 or 11-year-old, 12-year-old in Little League. And I remember my dad was high school. He was a elementary principal. And he bought us these brand new baseball gloves. It was the beginning of baseball season. And at the time, they were going pay to pay, just like a lot of people still do. And I remember it was after school. We went into his office and we were heading over to practice. And he propped his feet up on his desk and he gave us our new ball gloves. And I looked at his shoes. He had holes in the bottom of his dress shoes. He would take shoes down to the shoe hospital and have them resold before he'd buy new shoes. It was one of those things. And it's just, he didn't have a lot of money. And I was the same way. When my wife and I first started, there wasn't a whole lot of money, but what I did have was time. And that was important to me that's what I've always tried to do is invest my time. And just try to lead by example and be a good person. Just try to get kids that they can come back and like these guys. I've always thought you remember the special ones. I remember them all. But it's nice that you've all probably done it before. You start walking down the road and you see somebody, you think, oh shit, I'm going the other way. I don't want to talk to this person. It's nice that I can be anywhere. And I hear, hey, Coach Pikna. And it's still Coach Pikna. These guys are 55 years old now, and it's still, hey, it's Coach Pikna. It's Coach Pikna. I still get cards. I still get phone calls. I get cookies. I mean, I get, Greg never gives me anything, but, but that's been important. I build lifelong relationship with these kids and I continue to do that. And that's just an important thing that you try to provide a positive example all the time. And it's just been great. I feel very, very, very fortunate.
Well, we appreciate having you, Coach, and we're going to have him back. I promise you that. And
thanks, guys.
I also coached for 40-some years, and unlike you, I think I took the worst part of every coach I ever fucking had, and that's the coach I became. And even though we won sometimes, it was in spite of me.
I know the guys listening. The guys are probably listening to this, or they're listening. They're looking at me, Greg's team, and the rest of those kids are probably thinking he's full of shit. He's an asshole. But yeah, you love them all. You love them all. You gotta. Whether it's the last kid on the bench near the water cooler or whether it's one of your starters, you got to treat them all the same and love them all.
And Tiny was nice enough to point this out when you said sometimes when someone comes, you look the other way. That's me. That's me. I'm the person they fucking go around the other way. Okay, so now that we've given you a nice thing,
right.
we're gonna turn it back into the negative, which is what we're fucking good at.
We're to get back in the gutter. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Right where you're
back down to Greg's level.
Yeah. Quit bringing nice shit into our thing, Ed.
Sorry if I got misty-eyed, fellas. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the trenches.
We have a reputation to uphold here, So anyway, we asked the most disliked team you have, both in the NFL and in college. And we're putting up the bar graph right now. Yeah. What other fucking podcasts have bar graphs? No, we're the ones that have fucking bar graphs. Nah, Kelsey's, how much? They don't have a fucking bar graph. I can't even say bar graph. I should have this one earlier in the day.
That shot really went to his head.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah. And the beers didn't help either. Anyway, okay. Now you saw the most disliked teams. You see that it's there is a Pittsburgh bias here, obviously, because you see the Ravens and you see Ohio State, and then there were a lot of Pitt fans. That's why Penn State was second in college. But anyway, I just want you to hear some random comments from our viewers, and they're very random. This guy said the Ravens because they stole the Browns, and that was obviously an Ohio guy. The one guy didn't like Bama because they always win. This guy picked Baltimore and Michigan, and he put in capital letters the Harbaughs. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Browns and Notre Dame because they hate their fans. This person hates the Ravens because of their stupid gold chains.
Why just them?
This person doesn't like Penn State because of the Sandusky situation that we don't want to get into, I don't think. This guy didn't like the Titans because of a stupid name and lazy alliteration.
What?
How about that, huh?
Lazy
alliteration. And the same guy picked Missouri as a color. Okay, but now he had a reason. He said, they're too shitty to be a legit big team. They're too big to be a mid-major. And also, has anyone ever been to Missouri?
They're what? They're the
Most
SEC,
people drive
right?
through, they just roll up the windows and keep going.
I have a real story.
Jesus.
When I used to drive to my basketball camps, if we were going by a major university, I always want to see the football field.
Oh, okay.
So we stopped at Missouri's football field.
Yeah.
But I had a real bad case of vertigo where I couldn't see. And we went in the stadium and I just couldn't fucking see it.
Jesus.
And it didn't go away. So I guess I've been there, but I haven't been there. How about that? This person picked the Browns because they literally have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Wow.
Very true.
It is true.
Very true.
From a Browns fan.
Uh-huh.
Very true.
Ohio State because their fans think their poop doesn't stink. Commanders because they changed their nickname. Michigan because of their cheating scandal. This guy just was very to the point. Fuck Florida State. And the Florida State, I think they got 4 votes. It was all guys from Florida.
Wow.
I think they were all Miami or Florida fans. Now, this is a weird one. Packers, if they had Jerry Jones, they'd be hated more. Yeah, I guess that's correct.
Probably true.
Ohio State for the arrogant fan base. We heard that. And Ohio State because this guy worked in East Liverpool for 38 years, and that's all we heard.
Oh,
so he got sick of that.
That's what he gets for living in East Liverpool.
That's right. Well, no, he didn't live there. He lived in Pittsburgh. Don't make fun of him. He's one of our living legends.
That's fine.
Okay. Cowboys in Colorado. He said, guess what athlete coach I dislike the most? Cowboys in Colorado. Did you get that? Yeah, you weren't even fucking listening.
I'm looking
What
at
the
my
fuck
answer.
are you reading?
I'm reading my answer. I'm reading my answers to you.
How can I expect you to listen if this motherfucker doesn't listen?
I don't need to listen to that.
Okay. But I got one more. Mr. Harrelson.
Oh, there he is.
He had things to say.
Okay.
Mr. Harrelson said the Ravens, they are a bunch of fucktards. He said, I just drove through Baltimore 3 days ago. If there is a hell on earth, it's there. It's a cesspool and gangrenous spawn of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Harrelson.
Pretty vivid.
He's a regular.
He's an angry man.
Yeah, he has a lot to say every week.
He picked Notre Dame, and then he cracked on somebody else in the middle of this. He said, their fans are the worst and most obnoxious in sports, with the possible exception of the Cubs.
No.
Who know as much about football and baseball as some starving Somalian firing off an AK-47 into the air for no fucking reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's what Mr. Harrelson had to say.
Man.
We should probably end with that, but
right.
Yeah, mine and your votes were already in there, but
Okay.
who'd you vote for? And you did actually. You had some funny shit. Are you gonna read that?
You want me to?
Yeah. This is probably your best thing you ever fucking
No,
did.
that's not. You say it. No. This was actually hard because, you would think it would be the Ravens or the Browns for me, but I went with the Ravens because there were so many guys on that team I thought were overrated, and their best player also killed somebody,
right?
And I think that's way worse than banging chicks' heads off toilets like Ben did when he was banging them in the
Yeah, and she asked for it anyway.
I agree. Yeah. So, and then the other one was actually even harder because for me, I'm a Michigan guy. And so it came down to Ohio State or Penn State. And, Penn State fans are probably more annoying, but I went with Ohio State. It's such a shame because Columbus is such an awesome city. And they have to play host to that godforsaken team. Like I think I compared it to a host organism to a parasite. The Ohio State's there and Columbus has to support them, and it's just such a shitty. I hate everything about Ohio State, and it's a shame that beautiful city has to support it. So I went with Ohio State.
Okay, Ed.
Well, I much to Greg's not going to like this, but just for some reason, I've always hated Michigan. I've always hated Michigan. I don't know, and it got even worse when they hired Harbaugh.
Yeah,
I mean, it went downhill from there for me, and then he left and stuff, and it still hasn't got any better. But I got to go with Michigan.
How about in the NFL? You got
in the NFL. Well, see now I got I'm a Browns fan. Don't boo me. I know probably won't be invited back now, but I'm a Browns fan. And I would normally go with the Ravens, but I'm going to say the Steelers. Now, here's why. Okay? Because they were so damn good when I was growing up. And they used to kick the shit out of the Browns and all the teams that I rooted for over the years. It just turned me off on the Steelers. But they, you know what? I will, to their credit, they've done everything right over the years. They've done everything right. Now, I'm not, but I got to go with the Steelers. I got to go.
Okay. No, and the guy that if you looked at our bar graph closely, one person picked the Steelers, and he was a Browns fan. And he pretty much mirrored what you had to say about the same thing. And I guess mine has changed over the years because I would have said the Browns early on for the same reason. When I grew up, because I'm older, the Browns used to kick the Steelers' ass. And then
I don't ever remember that.
You have to be pretty old to remember that.
Yeah, you got to be real old.
But then the Steelers turned the tide, and then so it would have been the Browns when I was younger, but definitely the Ravens now because of the murder and what did Mr. Harrelson say? The cesspool and gangrenous city. Like Baltimore and Detroit, they're both pieces of shit. I think Detroit's trying. Baltimore doesn't even fucking try to fucking clean it up. It's just a piece of shit and a cesspool and gangrenous. You're right, as Mr. Harrelson said.
He did, yeah.
And then when I was growing up, I went to school in Ohio for 8 long years.
Took you that long to get out of college?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I had some problems then.
I was on a 5-year plan. That's okay. I understand.
5 and 8, same thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't like Ohio State then, even though I had a good buddy that played for them. Damn it! That was hard for me, but I didn't like them. But now that I've become a Kent State fan, we're low. By the way, we're 4th in the bottom 10 now. Okay. But the one team that sometimes was lower than us, but right now they're a little above us, but not much, are the Akron Zips. And I don't like Akron because it's a cesspool too. Not as bad as Baltimore. And I don't like the name Zips.
Yeah.
So I picked the fucking Akron Zips.
Wow.
So there you go with disliked teams. I'm going to read a quote by Stephen Wright.
Let's do it.
Stephen said, "It's a small world, but I wouldn't want to have to paint it." Okay, so thank you very much for staying with us.
This was good.
It's been great having Ed. I hope you enjoyed him. If you didn't, go fuck yourself. And we'll be back. Either whether you enjoyed Ed or not, we'll be back next week with 122.